Coogan Cassius for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Special guest on this week. Delighted to be joined by the new IBF King.
One, baby. Number one. Champion. Not of the little bit. The whole world, Coogan. The whole world, I'm champion of that.
Galahad, welcome. I'm also joined by Andy McGrath and also Razaban.
Yes, boys.
Yes, champ.
Well done. Congratulations, kid.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
His video's just gone off. Is someone trying to call him?
Champ does what he wants.
Champ's making us wait.
Sorry, boys. That was an important phone call.
That's all right. Not a problem, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So, first of all, before we obviously have a little reflection on the weekend.
Yep.
You've, you and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have just announced you've signed a multi-fight deal.
Yeah.
That's breaking news today. So, yeah, I mean, it's mad how kind of this hasn't happened before, but I suppose, is it a case of you're in demand now or what?
I hope so. I think I'm on demand. You know, I've had 2 good back-to-back performances, and you know, profiles raised, and I think people want to watch me now. So that's the thing, innit? You know, I'm IBF champion of the whole world, and it's just about winning, staying on top, and cleaning up the division.
Obviously, the potential fights you can have in the division, you obviously thought that the best place for you to be was with Eddie and the Zone and Matchroom.
The thing is with Eddie backs you all the way, doing it 100%. And if anyone can make the fights, it's him, because no one else in this division can, apart from Eddie, because he's got the connects and he's got the money, and that's it. You know, no other featherweight. There isn't no other big fights being made at featherweight, is there? Realistically.
Let's creep back to Saturday night. Another explosive fight camp show, and obviously crowned off by your world title win against the very, very brave Jazza Dickens. We saw a clip of you 7:15 in the morning back on it. Was that a proper training session, or was that just
the training session? Yeah, listen, just one of them. I always train, and I always keep on top of my craft. You know, I'm a professional. I'm a full-time professional. I'm not one of these fighters who, you know, after a fight take 2 or 3 months off, I'm straight back in, and that's what's going to be the difference. That's why I believe, you know, I'm going to be a devastating fighter. I'm going to devastate this division for a long time, and I believe I am the best featherweight in the division. I don't believe any featherweight, you know, could beat me, and I think that's what just separates me from them.
Obviously, after the fight, you were kind of hyped, obviously, very vocal about Josh Warrington. Obviously, Josh Warrington's still got his rematch coming up with Lara on the 4th of September, but your attitude really was, whoever wins that, whether it's Lara or Warrington, get me that fight.
Yeah, 100%, you know, but the thing is, it's like, more than anything, the only thing I gained from beating Warrington is, you know, getting that W from my record official. Because let me tell you something, Google. You see this back pocket in my pocket? This is where Josh Warrington's soul is, in this back pocket here. I've got Josh Warrington's soul, and, you know, since he's boxed me, it's all been downhill for him. Just, you know, and it's been uphill for me. So, you know, I believe, you know, and in fact, I know he knows that he lost that fight, and that's why I believe, you know, he went on from saying he wants to fight the best fighters in the planet to going to fight some French kid we don't even know. You know, he's chasing the big fish. You know, he had a defense against some French kid we don't even know who he is. You know, and then he went on to fight a guy called Lara, and then get banged out. So, you know, but then he's saying he wants these big fish. You know, is Lara a big fish? Was that French kid a big fish? That French kid was I don't even know, I think it was number 90 in the world, and Lara was at like 82 and 90 in the world, but he's saying he wants these big fish, and he just chats shit, doesn't he? That's the truth about Warrington. He just chats shit.
Barry, just before we let you go, because we know this was a bit last minute. I only messaged you to come on yesterday and appreciate you giving us some time, as you always do. But we saw some pictures of Jazza Dickens today that he posted on social media. We saw the embracing straight after the fight of you two as well. Thankfully, Jazza is okay. But what credit do you give to Jazza Dickens in that fight?
The thing is, I've always give Jazza credit because I've always known how tough and brave he is. I've sparred with him numerous rounds, and you know the thing with Jazza, like he's solid, he's tough, he can do everything well, and you literally have to kill him to lick him, and that's what I had to do on the weekend. And I knew that. I knew, for me, the only way to beat someone like Jazza, you've literally got to nail him to the ground, or literally absolute, because you know he lives the life, he's dedicated, and I believe he will be a world champion. You know, it was just, you know, on Saturday night, I just believe I was the better fighter on the night, and that's it. And hopefully, you know, he can come back from this and become a world champion, which I believe he will do.
We're assuming it's August, it's kind of month 8 of the year, that you can still fight again by the end of the year, no problem.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll just be on the phone to Eddie, and he's about get another fight, a big one in Sheffield before the end of the year. So hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what he says.
Leewood?
I know, but the thing is, well, look, if Leewood wants to fight, you know, obviously it can't be for the WBA regular title because that's not a proper title. But if he fancies the fight, you know, he can give that title up and he can come fight for the real title if he wants that fight. But the thing is, you're forgetting, I've just beat the man who beat him. And it wasn't like Jazza, you know, got a lucky fight and just beat him. Jazza battled him from pillar to post. So, you know, it's a bit of a weird one, and it's like, well, I've just beaten the guy who beat him. Right, yeah, he's gone to fight Kanzu. But the thing is, the truth, I'm not taking any credit away from Lee Wood's victory, but, you know, they're saying, oh, well, Leo Santos should be stripped because he hadn't boxed for 2 years. But Kanzu hasn't boxed for 2 years. So what are you trying to say? That fight shouldn't have been a world title fight because Kanzu, he shouldn't even box in Kanzu because Kanzu's not boxed for 2 years. So what are you trying to say?
Hey, let me just go back to the fight on Saturday. Just a quick one from me. Like, I know it didn't go 12 rounds, it went 11 rounds. You threw over 1,000 punches. And when I watched the fight, it didn't seem like you were going to slow down. You were just constantly relentless. Is that down to your commitment and your constant focus of staying in the gym all the time?
The thing is, you know, from the Josh Warrington fight, I just realised, I thought, you know what, no one's ever going to do you no favours. And it is, my mentality's always been me against the world. And, you know, and I just feel like that fight just made me think, you know what, I've got to make sure every fight I fight, I have to absolutely nail him to the ground. And that's it, you know, and that's my mentality now. You know, when I get in the ring, I just believe I've got to absolutely go in there and nail him to the ground. That's the only way for me. I can't afford for them to go to the scorecard and... Hello?
Yep, can hear you, can't see you.
Oh, sorry. And I just, sorry, boys. And if you know, I can't let it go to the scorecards and let it happen what happened in the Warrington fight. You know, that's my mentality.
Okay, well, listen, I appreciate you jumping on this, Barry. Congratulations. Like I said, it was...
Congratulations, kid.
Thank you, boy.
And congratulations on the deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. And listen, onwards and upwards.
Yep, thank you, boys. I appreciate that. We'll hopefully be out before the end of the year in a fight in Sheffield for my first defence. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you boys there.
100%.
100%. Well done, kid.
Thank
you. On, mate.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to jump straight and bring in another guy here.
Got to bring in Costy.
Yeah, no. Let me just second. So entering the Zoom now is Mr.
There we go. Can you
Stan
hear me?
Number. Stan, can you turn your phone round this way, please?
iPad, turn your iPad.
Or the iPad round that way?
All right, is that better?
That's better, mate. Yep.
There we go.
Absolutely right. For the people that don't know, but everyone in Belfast will know him because he was everywhere on Friday night. But Stan was the Fight Picks winner. Stan, I'm going to let you tell what you won from the Fight Picks competition that you entered.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I got the phone call on the Monday to say that I'd won the competition. To be honest, I didn't realise there was a competition. I knew there was a chance of winning the £1,000. So I thought it was a bit of a wind-up. And he said, oh, you won the competition over to Belfast. And I thought, yeah, all right. I said, oh, I can't make it. And he said, oh, does anyone else you know want to go? And I thought, well, if it was a wind-up, surely he wouldn't ask that. And anyway, I thought about it and I thought, yeah, I'll go. So I said, what's involved? And he said, we got your flights over there paid for. We'll put you up in a fighter's hotel. You've got your VIP tickets ringside. And that was it at the time. And I thought, well.
And you get to meet me.
Well, that's it, yeah. The second best IFL interviewer.
Who's the first?
I'm not even going to say a word.
You told me it was Coogan. I asked for your picture and you got she with me because I asked for Coogan's first. We got to the hotel and they said, yeah, they'd laid on transport for us and we got to meet all the fighters and yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, obviously we met because as soon as I came into the hotel, obviously you and your partner were there. And yeah, I mean, it was an incredible night. I mean, the rain, actually, to be fair, held out for the last sort of 3 hours of the show. It's still wet, but the rain kind of held out. But it was an incredible night there. Great performance from Michael Conlon as well, and also Tyron McKenna and all the boys. So, yeah, any particular fight you kind of stood out for you?
Well, to be honest with you, I missed the McKenna fight, which was the one I was most looking forward to of all of them, because it took about an hour to get a drink at the bar, and by the time we got to our seats, with the fight, I thought, I wanted to watch that one. But I was looking forward to the other two as well. And to be honest, they were great. As soon as we had a drink, we thought, right, that's it. I'm not leaving the seats now. I want to watch the boxing. And they were great. But to be honest with you, it was being back at the boxing, which is fantastic. The weather it held out and the crowd were unbelievable. The music was blaring. Everybody was up singing, dancing. It was great to be back.
Yeah, it was great. And obviously, me and Andy were both there. And Mick Collins' ring walk, I think it's done like however many million views on social media. But yeah, in all, we've been to Fader before, me and Andy have, and they're incredible nights. And like I said to you, everyone was loving it, absolutely loving it. It was packed out. So
yeah, and I'd heard about the Belfast crowds before, but obviously I'd never been over there to watch a fight. And yeah, they ain't wrong about the Belfast crowds. They know how to have a party. I'll give them that.
How do you rate that one? Out of all the shows you've been to, Stan, how do you rate that one?
That was up there, to be honest. I mean, most of the shows that I've been to, they're different. The last one I went to was Lomachenko Campbell. So it's nearly 2 years ago since I've been to a show. So completely different atmosphere, different arena. This one was outside. The weather held out. It was just, yeah, it was completely different to any of the others that I've been to, because apart from Joshua Klitschko, all the others have been inside. So to get outside and, you know, the weather wasn't great, but I think that added to it. I think everyone was just having a crack and just getting involved. It was brilliant. The crack, see, you came back with some lingo then? Yeah. To be honest, I was struggling with some of the Irish guys at the bar. I had to get my missus to translate for me. I was struggling. But they were all really friendly, all really nice, and it just made it a great night.
Stan, just before we let you go, do you want to let us how you got on with the weekend's fight picks from the Conlon show and also from Galahad and Dickens?
Yes.
What was
Bear
your
with me, I'll just get it up. So the last one I had up was bear with me. Right, Conlon Dehaney, let's have a look. So, first one was the Sean McComb fight against Rodriguez.
Just tell us your overall score. You haven't got to go through all the fights, Dan. Just
In
tell
other
us-
words, I'll be asked to listen to it.
No, just wanted to know how you got on overall. That was all.
No.
Stan treats us like that as well, mate. Don't worry, it's not just you.
Yeah, the Conlon Dahini one, I had 30 points on that one. So that was ranked 212, which wasn't too bad out of
That's actually pretty good. Yeah,
nearly 1,500.
I think you beat all of us anyway.
No, he didn't. Wait, stop. No, he didn't. I got 34 points. I ranked 35th. Wait, put the breaks. Listen, I know he's a guest, but let's just keep
You
things
said
going.
24 earlier on.
It was
34.
34.
Oh, 34. Sorry, I must have misheard you.
Sorry, man.
That
You
cheap
couldn't
one
follow
fight
me.
you got,
That's
didn't
what
you?
I'm saying.
And Galahad Dickens.
The Galahad Dickens, I got 24 points out of that one, so that was rank 128.
Yeah, you definitely beat us all then. You beat all three of us there.
Yeah, done well there, Stan.
Cheers, mate.
All right, well, listen, we'll let you get on with your evening. Thanks for kind of coming on and giving us a little reflection of your competition win. So,
Oh, no problem.
we're to the next one.
So you recommend the Fight Picks app then, Stan? Yep.
100%. And genuinely, I ain't been paid to say this. I literally just downloaded it for practice. I heard you guys talking about it. And to be entered into a competition and win something like that without even knowing about it, it's, yeah, just download it and get involved in it. It's great, Ab.
Definitely. Well,
Brilliant.
hope you enjoyed yourself, mate. It was nice
Yeah.
meeting you.
Yeah, loved it, mate.
Hopefully, we'll catch up at another boxing show, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, yeah.
Good stuff.
Top man. Right, we'll let you get on then, Stan. And then, yeah, hopefully speak soon, mate.
Nice one. Cheers for that, guys.
Well done, mate. Take care.
See you later.
That was Stan, the Fight Picks competition winner.
And the
Right.
man.
Let's, first of all, well, we had a little chat off camera about this, but how did we do? Let's start with Conan and Dahini. I don't know what accent that was, but I didn't do great, to be honest with you. I was 26 points on that one.
Same, 26 as well. And
Oh.
you killed us.
34 points, and the winner, actually, 38 points. I was 4 points away from getting money.
Fair enough. Yes, you were.
Mm.
And then Galahad Dickens.
Rough one for me.
How many?
18 points.
16 points for me. Better than last week for me.
Yeah, I wasn't too great on that. I got 8. I got practically the winners right. It's just the way I thought the fight was going to play out.
Okay.
I messed up on some of the rounds, like the picking the rounds. That's where I went.
That's the bit that throws you. Need that. If you go for the knockout and you get the round right, then your score goes up and up and up.
So this week we have the finale of Fight Camp. Sadly, I was going to say shamefully, but no, that's the wrong word.
Right?
Sadly, because Fight Camp has been very good.
You're enjoying it, Coogan?
I think so. Right. So, obviously headlined by a very interesting fight. I can't not find this fight interesting. Joshua Bowatsi takes on the Madman. I call him the Madman because he's a little bit off-key, personality-wise. I hope he doesn't take offence to that when I interview him this week. Balotniks. But let's just kind of start with the 4 fights that are listed on this week's Fight Picks. Let's start, and as we're doing it, make your pick. Andy, I'll come to you first with Cash Farooq and Luis Castillo.
Yes.
Not that Castillo; it's a different Castillo.
A little Mexican. Yeah. Well, listen, obviously I'm a big fan of Cash Farooq, man. I think everyone that's seen him on these last 2 Eddie Hearn shows, Matchroom Bills, I've seen that he's a fan-friendly style. A lot of people saying Lee McGregor fight in the first fight that he won the fight. So, and with these last two shows being on Matchroom, being live on Sky and stuff like that, people have actually got to see what I've seen on the small hole shows in Scotland with Cash, that he's a very, very exciting boxer. Everyone says that his footwork, his upper body movement, his shot selection. And to be fair to him, this is his 3rd tough South American that's come over to face him. And like Eddie's not playing around feeding them these hungry, badass South Americans, for lack of a better word. But like Cash always does, I think just his movement, his shot selection, I think he'll get this one. He'll do this one. But again, these Mexicans, as we've seen in the past, Warrington, Lara, to name one fight, that these Mexicans are here to win. They're not here to just roll over and get a payday and go back to Mexico or Argentina or whatever South American country that they're coming from. So, but Cash's movement, I've got high hopes for Cash in the future. So, I'm being that I'm a biased jock, I'm going to stick with Cash.
Okay, let's make our picks then for Cash, Farooq, and Castillo.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Raza, I'll come to you now for Michael McKinson's fight with... Now, I'm going to have to ask him this week exactly how to pronounce his name. I'm going to call him Ronowski.
Attempt it, Coogan.
What?
Attempt his name.
I did. Ronowski?
No, the first name. Attempt his first name.
Przemysław?
Oh, that's actually probably quite good. I'll probably...
Definitely messed that up. Raza, Michael McKinson. Considered for a while, till his fight with Congo, as kind of the boogeyman of the division, and he was banging on social media. A lot of his fans from Portsmouth were on Eddie Hearn's case to give him a shot. He did have that shot in that fight with Chris Congo in Gibraltar on the undercard of White's rematch with Povetkin. But yeah, talk to me about McKinson.
Listen, in boxing, as Floyd Mayweather says, skills pay the bills. You know, I know a lot of people want to see what we saw on the weekend in the heavyweight with Babic and Bennett going at it crazy. But McKinson's style, like, it's similar to Galahad almost. He does the basic fundamentals right, and he's very, very, very tricky. And I think he's a problem in the welterweight division. I know he beat Congo, and I rate Congo. Congo's a great fighter himself, and Congo will come again. McKinson now 20-0. And by looking at his record, he's only had 2 knockouts in his 20 fights, which clearly shows that he focuses more on breaking the opponent down round by round and getting that victory unanimously. And I think he's a big problem. And honestly, in the future, it will marinate eventually. But Conor Ben McKinson, I think that's a clash of styles right there. You got one who's a pure slick boxer, and you got another fighter who's an aggressive come forward. I think it's a great clash. McKinson, for me, is one of the top welterweights in the country without doubt. And obviously Ronowski, I know his only loss was Josh Kelly a little while ago. But I'm going to say it because he's in a way fight. I think McKinson wins this quite easily.
Going on the 2 knockouts, so he has knocked a lot of his opponents down. He has managed to get the knockdowns, but not the stoppages. So.
All right, let's make our picks for this fight then. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right, Andy, I'm going to come to you for a bit of a random fight on this card. We've seen a few random fights on this card. We spoke about kind of the Cullen Yildirim fight, even Lee Wood and Kanzu when we were talking about it. It was just kind of a random matchup in terms of kind of even hearing Jack Cullen Yildirim, and obviously Jack Cullen come out on top on that. But this is another one because this is a prospect, one of Eddie Hearn's prospects in America, and Raymond Ford, someone that you have interviewed several times, Andy, fighting someone who's been around for a while. He's probably even not that old, Reece Bellotti. Obviously, he had his ups and downs, but this is a really kind of interesting fight for both of these fighters.
Definitely, like you mentioned there, Ray Ford. Like I've watched him fight in Nottingham, New York, Phoenix, Arizona, and Miami. So I've watched this kid all over the world, and he's producing the goods. He's a skillful southpaw that can bang a little bit. So he's a very, very... Eddie Hearn sings his praises. He got a draw in his last fight against a 10-0 opponent. By his own admission, it was under par from himself. He was asking for the rematch, didn't get it against, I think his name was Aaron Perez. But then he jumped to Reece Bellotti, but people might think that, Reece has had 4 losses, but bear in mind, Ryan Walsh was a decision loss, a close decision loss. Who else? Jordan Gill, and again, was another decision loss. So he's losing against guys, but he's not getting outschooled or knocked down or knocked out or something like that. He's there or thereabouts. So he's proven himself against these very, very talented fighters in Ryan Walsh and Jordan Gill. For Ray Ford, like he got a draw in his last out and he said he was subpar. It wasn't him in there. And I've seen him fight. He's very skillful. Reece Bellotti is a talent. Like I said, he's not lost he's not lost to somebody he's knocked out. He's been there. He's been in the fight. He's always been in the fight. So this is a 50-50 fight for me, and it's going to be a tough one. If you've not seen Ray fight, we've not seen Reece Bellotti fight, it's a 50-50 fight. So take your pick.
Well, we're going to do that right now. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this brings us to our, well, it's not our final fight because it's we kind of went the backward way on the Fight Picks app, but Bowatsi and Balotniks, and we saw Balotniks in the Golden Contract, very, very, very impressive, a character, and this is gonna be a test, in my opinion. I'm sure you guys agree for Bowatsi. Jazza?
100%. And listen, I didn't expect him to do as well as he did in the Golden Contract, because I looked at his record before and I was like, he's lost quite a few. Maybe he's just going to come down, get the pay and move over. But listen, he's got 7 fights in a row now. He's won on a great winning streak. Bowatsi, we've still got to see what he's learned from Virgil. I know he obviously was out a couple of months ago. Was it in Manchester, I believe? So I'm interested to see what Bowatsi is going to show us as well, not just Balotniks. I know what Balotniks all about, but I'm more interested in Bowatsi because there's so much high praise for him and we rate him so much. He's moved to America. He's made that decision, dedicating himself to move overseas, work with Virgil. And I'm just very much, it's a great fight. And I think it's probably going to be one of the tough ones for Bowatsi as well.
Andy, I think one of the things about Bowatsi as fans, we wanted to kind of have seen a domestic clash by now. You know, there was obviously talks of all kinds of fighters for Bowatsi,
Callum Johnston.
We haven't seen, we haven't seen any of those fights yet. And I think those fights hopefully come kind of after this, should he get through Balotniks. But I'm not saying questions have been asked of Bowatsi, but I think so far he's done everything well and he's looked good. But I think now's the time to take a little bit more of a forward step. And I think that this fight will, considering what Jazza was saying, Balotniks' form going into this fight, it makes it an interesting fight with Bowatsi.
Definitely. People might think, oh, it's just another Eastern European, but if you never watched the Golden Contract, but he stopped Stephen Ward in the first round, then he beat Jose Burton. We know how good Jose is. And then he went on and stopped Serge Michel in the final, who stopped Liam Conroy and beat Tommy Philbin again in the Golden Contract. So he's a good fighter, he's a character, so he's going to be fun on Fight Camp Week 3 for yourself, Coogan. Bowatsi's got, I know he's been stopped 3 times, Balotniks, and Bowatsi's got that high KO. I think he's 14-12 knockouts, Bowatsi. So, I mean, people might read into that too much and might go for a Bowatsi stoppage, but like I say, like what Jazza alluded to, that he's coming into himself and now Balotniks into this the boxing game. Great wins, 2 stoppages out of 3 in the Golden Contract. So, not an easy fight for Joshua Bowatsi. I think looking at that light heavyweight division domestically and at world level with Joe Smith and Bertubiev and Bivol, and now Cam Smith's up there, that light heavyweight division, I think it's now, if he wins this fight, man, let's start seeing him in with some tasty names.
Okay, let's make our picks for the final fight on here. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah. I think me and Jazza just went for the same one there.
Okay. Right. Mine are done.
Yep. Done.
Right. You guys are still picking?
Yeah, I'm just, I missed one out, so I'm just going to go back to it. And,
yeah, he doesn't want to come last this week.
Right, well, while Jazza is doing that, thank you. Right, we'll catch up after the weekend's action again and kind of see how we've all done and kind of have a little chat with someone from the show on the weekend. If you haven't downloaded it, we're going to tell you to do it every single week. Download the Fight Picks app, available on iOS and Android devices.
And add me, Andrew.
Hang on.
Wait, okay.
Hang on.
Right.
Play responsibly, over 18s only. and read the terms and conditions, which is in the description of this video and all our videos. Go on, Andy, sorry.
Sorry, mate, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but do add me, Andrew_IFLTV. If
Are you on the show next week, Andy? Because it's Pacquiao Spence when you're flying out.
Maybe, mate, I don't know.
We'll talk about that another time. Right, listen, we do have to wrap this up now. So thank you very much to Andy. Thank you very much to Raza. Thank you very much to Stan, our Fight Picks winner. And also, congratulations and thank you to Kid Galahad for coming on. We will see you next week.
Definitely. Cheers, guys. Have a good night.